what do we know about Zoocci? Besides him being a super producer who has worked with the up-and-coming, including the most prominent names in the game as well. Let's not forget that on occasion he records hooks and even verses for some of the rappers he works with. He's also curated 25K's albums, and it is safe to say that he has the touch that you need to be regarded a talented rapper or an artist. But where did he start? How did everything start for Zoocci Coke Dope? Zoocci Coke Dope, real name Andile Sibabalwe Fiphaza, is a self-taught musician from Pretoria who began producing musical beats at the age of 10. It is said that Andile produced his first studio album titled FL Studio, which was also around at the same age.
I started making beats, right? Like that was like the first thing I did. And then I got to a point where nobody was like jumping on my beats because I was like making them for myself really. And I wasn't all that good. So I started like trying to jump on them myself, and even via the mixing and mastering, because like almost everything that I've dropped is mixed and mastered by me. With the mixing and mastering too, I'd work on my own vocals to make it sound good, and you know, and then only later on I decided let me just stick to producing for a couple of years. I think it was like 4 years where I was just producing only and not on the mic, and then I came back to it.
So at the beginning of Zoocci Coke Dope's career, he had a very great passion for music. So he decided to go enroll for sound engineering, but sadly he dropped out after a year. But this didn't stop him from, pursuing music and falling in love with music. And it is said that he dropped out of school so his sister could pursue an education.
I mean, when did you lose your father,
2009.
It's almost 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Ago, you were probably 15.
I was in grade 9.
And at such a young age, why would you think that your father could have thought that you were angry at it?
That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. We weren't talking, because we had some disagreement, and like he'd call my mom and stuff to pass me the phone, and I'd like, nah, I don't want to speak to him. And then fast forward a couple of days later of that happening, I get a call from my mom like, come home and stuff, because I was out in the streets with my friends.
When Zoocci eventually decided to go professional, he linked up with Diamonds, who was also on a lot of Flame projects, if you've noticed. These two produced the Morning Star project together, and Zoocci is also known for producing Freedom of Fame song by Black Les, which opened doors for him in the industry.
I mean, Les really did a great job on it, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He took it to the next level, because even when I got the song back after sending him the beats, I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay, now we might have something.
Yeah.
But initially when I was sending the beats, I was just like, yo, this is what I make, but I'd like you to come and listen.
I mean, at that time, where were you at your career? This is you, obviously, like Les is up there. Was that the thing? Les is an established Pretoria rapper, and you like trying to come up. Where were you at the stage of your career when you sent that?
It was a very, could this work type of phase. Like, like when you're young and you make beats and you're always thinking like, okay, would I ever make a living off this, or would I ever? So I was in that period, and I didn't even view Black Les as like, okay, this is an opportunity, or I was just at a party with a friend of mine. I was even lit way before, like when I used to drink and stuff. Yeah. So my homie's like, yo, do you know that guy over there? Like, man, that's Black Les, out here, he's a rapper. I'm like, I just walked up to him, I was like, yo, pass me your email. And you could see he was a bit,
hesitant.
Yeah, because he's just like, who the hell is that? I was just like, I don't want no phone number, just pass me an email. And I think the same night or the next day I sent him.
Yeah. Zoocci is a producer who has tapped into every single bag of production, right? Because he produced the song for Big Star Johnson, which was the theme song for season 2, The Hustle. And it just shows that he's willing to do anything to put himself out there,
You came and you got a lot of notoriety and acknowledgement from working with Big Star, right? How does the Big Star relationship kick off, and what were the benefits of that, moving forward? When did you feel like, okay, cool, now I can drop my shit?
Me and Big Star met a couple of years back, I think around 2015.
Yeah.
Just since then, we've just been working on and off. I met him through K2. K2 wanted to make a song with me and Big Star at the time, so he brought Big Star to my place. And then me and K2 stayed connected from there. I mean, me and Big Star stayed connected from there. And we've just been working on and off. Like, even some of the stuff that you hear now, stuff that was like recorded quite some time back. As far as the right time to like drop my work, it wasn't even really based off no big star or nothing. It was just I had put out enough work, I feel like. But then the work that I had put out was like not really explaining like my story. It was like the club stuff, the happy stuff. So I really felt like people should get to know me, like not the happy stuff that I've been doing the whole time.
So from being a first-year sound engineer dropout to being one of hip-hop's biggest names in the country, how did he do it? And surely it wasn't just making beats, right? He became the go-to engineer, the go-to executive producer, and the go-to feature if you needed a solution for your career as a struggling rapper. He was like a mythical new force that was single-handedly raising the quality of standards when it came to hip-hop sounds. And it's quite evident that Zoocci has set himself on a course towards significant greatness.
I've worked with Black Les, you know. I did a couple of things for the Les. I did some song on his album, the past album, the Hall of Fame album. I've done work for Reese, you know. Done work for probably like 90% of Pretoria. I've done work for a lot, bro. Like nothing's coming to mind, but like DJ Speedster. I've done stuff for Radic, you know, Youngster. I'm doing stuff with Chad right now. Like a lot, bro. Got a song with Gigi Lamaine coming out soon. I've done stuff with Stogie. I've done stuff with a lot of people, bro.
So if you guys remember, Zoocci was also the engineer for the Newcomers Delight Champ of 2012, which was for Hype magazine. And Zoocci Coke Dope was signed on the 5th season in 2017 after the success of Morning Star, just before establishing his own independent record label, Piff Audio, which partnered with Stay Low and Stain Entertainment.
You know? I'm gonna have half of the whole new school in my record label. I got Piff Audio coming out, man. My first artist is Byron Fuller. Diamonds is there, I'm also there. And Byron is working on his EP right now. His name is Byron Fuller. Crazy. Diamonds is also working on his project. I'm also working on projects. The label is called Piff Audio. And that's what I chose to do now, because I refuse to just mix myself up in this rat race and in this tug of war. I want to focus on what I believe in. I'm gonna sign some guys, I guess. Not because I'm trying to own their masters, or there's no contracts with this thing. It's just really guys that I got together with, and I was like, okay, I really like what you're doing. I feel like more people deserve to hear it. I will do my part to make sure that the label comes and scoops them up. Then I guess it's working. You feel me? But I'm trying to do things like that now, just so there's a different side to it. You know, there's a different side to it. It's not all about, let's say, the TV. It's not all about what's happening on radio. Sometimes there's internet. That's where it's moving right now. You feel me? And there's people who know how to be humble. There's people who know how to make groundbreaking music, and that's all I want to be all about. Just pushing the work and just doing the work.
This didn't end well, obviously, because he alleges that his record label went behind his back and forced his signature on contracts that he didn't know about. He says you've got individuals who could steal your publishing with pieces of paper. Now, Zoocci has been in a lot of drama with his record label, and lately it's been affecting him a lot, as we haven't been seeing him drop his own projects or music. And as a producer, publishing is a very, 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 very serious thing for you. So you need to get that sorted. You want to have it fixed. You can't just drop music and drop your own projects without that being set. You know what I'm saying? And Zoocci currently has 4 South African hip-hop nominations to his name, 3 consecutive Producer of the Year awards, including Album of the Year for Anxiety in 2020. He produced countless hits. He produced for other producers. He produced for other DJs who say they produce their own beats. He gave people hooks, gave people sounds. You need to go to Zoocci. If there's some artists who have to go to Zoocci for us to be able to hear them sound nice. Like, Zoocci has to be your sound engineer. Like, I think at some point, Flame's sound is largely not dependent on Zoocci, but largely built around Zooci and centered around Zooci, 25K. Madlera at the moment is around Zooci a lot. The whole of Pretoria has been around Zooci, man. Zooci is that guy. And I know a lot of people have been saying that Tweezy is the ultimate producer, right? I get that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. I get why you guys are saying Tweezy's the ultimate producer. I don't want to disrespect Tweezy when I say this, right? But for me, I see Tweezy more of a beat maker, right? Someone who, his bag is beats. His bag is making a beat that is going to be a hit, right? And his sound also did kind of go popular because for me, I think Zinga's sound is largely centered around Tweezy. I don't know, like when Tweezy raps, it reminds me of Zinga. Or when Zinga raps, it reminds me of Tweezy. But anyway, Tweezy is more on the beat side. Zoocci is curating people's projects. Zoocci is, and not just one person, a couple of people, a lot of people. He's on a lot of people's sound. He's really out there in people's projects and literally putting his hand in there to make the project sound better, to add his take, to add his taste, rather. And I just think Zoocci is that all-round producer in South Africa. When it comes to hip-hop, he knows what to do to your song in terms of the beat and in terms of the mixing. So if you have Zoocci around you, my guy, you got a master.